Today I'm talking about decks that give you clarity. Welcome or welcome back to Tarot for Tired People. So the first deck we're going to start with is Terra Volatile. And as much as I love Terra Volatile, I'm also extremely intimidated by it. So in the past, maybe since September, actually, if I look at it, it's the entire year that has been quite transformational. I don't want to use the word hard. I want to use the word transformational because matter does not transform unless there's an opposing force. Diamonds become diamonds on pressure. Water freezes when the temperature falls under a certain temperature, under a certain level. Ice also melts in heat. And I think Terra Volatile, I used to go to do, big moon and stuff like that. But ever since the lunar eclipse, I have been going through this transformation, which if I really objectively look, has been happening all year for me. And Terra Volatile, I was pulling out Tower cards so many times from this deck that I actually got scared and I put the deck away into storage. And obviously it's out now like, oh my God, this card has stalked me every time I touch this deck ever since the last lunar eclipse. And the thing is, when that happens, your higher self is trying to tell you something and you're supposed to sort of seek it. That's what I did because things were not the way I wanted them to be. So honestly, if I've been having tower weeks and months, I'm causing those towers. I looked around to see what cannot go on anymore and what needs to move forwards. And my decision as an entrepreneur affects other people's lives. So it all began with Terra Volatile showing me tremendous number of um, towers, but I am now indebted to it and I'm really thankful for it because it gave me the clarity to know what to see, to really change the state of things. Okay, the next deck I want to talk about was a complete surprise, and that's the Sasuraibito Tarot. This deck has not seen a lot of reading time in my life. Life is a long commitment, but I somehow turned to it because I was looking for something light at the time when you're going through so much in life. You are also looking for insight, but you don't want something very, very strong. And this strangely turned out to be a beautiful breeze of fresh air. And I love the perspectives it gave me and the insights it gave me. It can be quite objective and clarifying and not it gives you clarity without what I was looking for essentially in this time is okay, if I'm going through transformation, I need to make right soul aligned decisions. So I wanted to be aligned and I wanted this alignment and this advice to be objective. I did not want it to sort of mollycoddle me or hug me and saying, it's fine, just do this. I didn't want that. I wanted decisions that may be very difficult, but will eventually lead to the soul aligned life that I'm looking for. And Sasuraibito Tarot, oh my God, I can't tell you how beautifully, clarifying it is. It gives you a lot of clarity, and it also is very, very grounded. So don't, like me, don't dismiss this deck. I think I was a little bit dismissive of this deck. I think it has a lot of great energy, and I totally understand why it's so popular or why it was so popular. The third deck that we have is Influence of the Angels. It's a mass market deck. And I know I have sung the praises of this one to the high heavens or whatever we call that. But honestly, this is again another deck that's really showing me the way. And now it's become such a situation that if I have to make choices, I literally go to it. And this is why I picked this as my only deck in the one deck tag because it is descriptive. It's got everything that I need, but it's also got that energy. Like I can't tell you how many times I have reached out to this deck during this time in my life where I feel very lost. I feel, a lot of emotions and a lot of different kinds of emotions, really sadness, fear, you name it, I felt it. And it held my hand through it. So, but not not in the way of here, I'm here, friend, but more like, okay, I get it. You're feeling, a lot of fear, but this is the way you go forward. So I, I wish I had more affordable decks in this thing, but I wanted to keep it as authentic as possible. And Influence of the Angels is, I guess, the only mass market deck that I've been using in this time. And it is definitely one deck that gives you the clarity you need, not necessarily the clarity you have to want it, and it's not always going to be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear for sure. The next deck that gave me tremendous clarity was the Dark Mansion Tarot. I am quite surprised by it. When Terra Volatile is so serious, I wanted to reach out to something that was fun and I thought was fun, but it actually gave me extremely clarified readings, and it gave me a lot of insight into things that I was looking for. And it held the ground when the ground was shaking, the ground that I caused shaking because I decided things need to be crumbling, things need to be torn down. And I went about really changing up everything. And it is transforming me as a leader. It's transforming a lot of the ways I perceive my personal relationships, because entrepreneurship really transforms you. I think these are all the learnings you have. There's nothing like it, because you're having to hold that sense of stability across and make decisions that affect lives. So, this deck, I was really surprised that it gave me such clarified, insights throughout this time. And again, will be always reaching out to it now when I have to make decisions that are objective, and I need insights to make those decisions and that are not necessarily emotional. I'm also a big believer of decks that come into your life and people that come into your life when you're going through, transformation and tower moments and all that. Moments? I mean, come on. I think it's a quarter. The tower quarter is what I'm going through. Anyway, Marea Tarot was one such tarot deck that I'd bought a lot earlier. And because of different reasons, it came in a little bit late, and it came in just in the middle of all of this. And it's a Thoth deck that I had fallen in love with when I had started falling in love with Thoth. And genuinely, like, I can't tell you how without disclosing a lot of details, but the day I pulled, like the day it arrived and the day I pulled one spread from it, it was like I didn't even have to wait. It was just like, oh, let me show you guys these. It's got this incredible fiery energy, the objective energy that you expect from a Thoth deck, and yet it also has a feminine energy. I'm not sure how to put it. I know that most decks we call them feminine, but like Terra Volatile for me is very masculine, This one is like an elder deck, a deck, all my decks that I consider the elders in my collection, but with a softness that I did not expect from a Thoth deck. It's going to be very grounding. It's going to give you advice that you need to hear. I mean, look at that devil card, guys. Can I focus? Is it focused? I hope it's focused. Yeah. Beautiful. Like, I can only sigh and let you take in how gorgeous this deck is, how beautifully she's done it. It's just unreal and liminal. And that's the space I'm in, right? I have broken down and crumbled a lot of towers, caused tower moments in other people's lives, changed the whole freaking direction of my life, of my business. And that's my Aries energy, I guess. And these are the decks that helped me through it. And you can see from the screen, I'm sure, that these have that palpable energy that shows you the ways. Oh, never really realized that there were two lovers. Interesting. I love it when, well, I have been like, it's been a little bit of not tunnel vision, but trying to really now sweep away the rubble and make my way through. And this is really what these decks have been doing. They've been holding my hand and helping me walk through that burning tower and all that jazz towards the sunlight. I still don't know where we're going, but we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. Beautiful, beautiful deck. This is also a deck that arrived in these tumultuous times and became my favorite because of the advice it was giving me, because I was also seeking it. And as a collage deck, like, I will always call this one of my favorite decks, number one. Number two, the deck that is the collage deck for people who don't like collage decks. It is extremely intuitive. It is very grounding. It has all the colors, so you don't necessarily feel. So there was a tower situation where the other decks were, part of that. This came a little bit after, where I am now going through the rubble, and it literally sits next to my laptop on my desk, because I pull from it literally every day. That's how much I've fallen in love with it. I totally understand why it's a cult favorite. Maybe I should not use that word, but I get it. I get why some of these decks are as popular as they are. And I'm really happy that I took a chance on this one. And even though I was like, oh, it's a collage, I'm not going to ever like it. But decks that come in at the time that you are going through a lot of karmic changes, great. Like there is an instant connection with them. And that's how I feel about the Scarab and Dahlia. It is definitely one of its kind. And if I were to talk about its energy, it's very, like I love this High Priestess. It's positive. It's got a very positive energy. You can pull the Judgment card and not be scared. It's that's what it's got. Since it's come, it's been giving me positive readings, and it's not a very this is doom and gloom. It's a very, very positive deck. That's how I would summarize this deck. Another deck that never really saw a lot of, reading time, but really connected with me around this time. And I don't want to call these decks shadow work decks because there were no shadows. My life is on fire. That's what's happening. And these are the decks that held on and helped me hold on with advice and with truth and lighting up those shadows, I guess. So I never wanted to buy what is this word never? No, I was like, oh, I'm not going to buy the new tarot. I'm going to stick to, what I have. But honestly, the way this has guided me during this time, I feel like I want to get the new one, even though I have the Oracle, which I wanted to show now because again, incredible. But yeah, like the Somnia Tarot, I have the older version. I kind of like it because it kind of holds that in that border. I don't mind borders at all. I don't mind anything as long as I connect with it. And this has been a deck like that, with like the Sasuraibito Tarot, which did not see a lot of reading time on my desk or in my life, but definitely came alive during this time. I pulled it out and it said, "Where have you been? I'm here trying to talk to you," and it spoke a lot. So that's the Somnia Tarot, where I don't have the box here with me somehow, but you might see the newer version also on my channel soon. You might. The final two decks that is in this curation of mine are two oracles that I've been working with. I've not been working with a lot of oracles, actually, even the Sacred Destiny one, if I think about it. But these are the ones that gave me incredible insights. One is Poesis. I thought it would be some other decks, honestly, but this one really spoke to me at the time that the tower started burning and started crumbling down. This was really there alongside all the other decks. So I'm talking September, late August, and it spoke a lot. I don't have the poetry book. As how the deck is, it just really connected with everything that I was going through. Like, look at that card. Look at that silence card. I love when there's a blank card. Like, it makes a lot of difference, I think. So yeah, this is definitely a deck that connected with me in that time. And one of the very few oracles that I worked with, the Poesis Oracle, absolutely love it. It's got a very poignant energy that's very calming. You know which one I'm talking about? Yes, it's the Somnia Oracle. And honestly, this one, pure gold. That is what I will say. It is absolutely pure gold. Just the way he's done it, the photographs, the words. I mean, this particular card says the self. I mean, come on, incredible. I know that there's a problem all tarot tubers have been talking about, how it's not easy to kind of read the text on camera, but in real life, you're able to read it perfectly. So if you're not able to see it, off the back, so beautiful. The wayfarer, dissonance, the catharsis. I mean, you can imagine for someone who is bracing and who is now standing in the rubble of towers she has caused to crumble, towers she has burnt down, and she is, end of the day, that is what transformation is. You go through the fire, not around it. And this deck has arrived at the right time, because recovery is also kind of seeing so many things that I never saw. Like this whole time in my life has been that. And these words, each, whether it's the pioneer, the alchemist, the anger. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's so weird. Maybe I'll stop doing my word of the month, because my word of the month for October was alchemy. And I thought it would be, oh, beautiful, lead to gold. But actually, I didn't think about all the the pressure or the heat and everything that lead would have to go through to become gold. So it has been a very alchemical time. And the Somnia Oracle, which I probably will talk about separately in another video, has also been a great new friend because it just arrived a couple of days ago. And I absolutely am in love with it. It can work by itself. It stands by itself, but how incredibly it stands in, readings with multiple decks is also unbelievable. Like, it just shows more, it's like it lifts the veil to show you what, again, you need to see. And that's the phase of life I'm in, when I want to see some truths that are hard. My mother used to always say, some truths are hard to take. And that's the Somnia Oracle, I think, incredibly done from craftsmanship, creativity, and all of that. But energy, wow, it is really the words, everything together comes and gives you the clarity you need. So that ends my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I didn't want to completely abandon my YouTube because I'm going through things. That's not the kind of person I am. I'm a very committed person, and I wanted to show up, and I wanted to show up the way I am, and also show you, some decks that have helped me through it. And that's what matters. End of the day, what matters is us sharing our experience with the tarot. And this has been my experience. These are the decks that helped me, are helping me alchemize this time in my life, lead me through this tunnel, even if I'm scared, even if I can't see the light. So maybe it will help you too. And that's the whole point of this, right? I'll see you in my next video, hopefully with better news of my life. But honestly, it's not bad news. It's just, I don't know what's going to happen next. I've done these things now, set forth this whole domino effect of it, affected some lives and, a lot of relationships. And now I don't know what comes next. So we'll see. Thank you for being, if you've been around till now, till here, please do leave me a comment. Thank you always for supporting me. It means a lot, honestly.